Spirit cooking. It is definitely a real thing. Witches have been doing this since the days of old. Spirit cooking is the negative harnessing of energy by demonic practices. Before you truly understand the spirit cooking itself, let's look at a thing called purple royal witchcraft. It is one of the highest degrees of satanic witchcraft that is active in this world today. In the Old Testament of the Bible, the magicians that Pharaoh had are still active today. They're offsprings. They just go under different ministrations, different names, different coats. Why do you think they named the movie with Oprah The Color Purple? It's because the main women in that movie were all graduated to purple warrior witchcraft after that. And for those doubting what I just said, could you please tell me why they called it The Color Purple when originally the name was supposed to be Moonrise or something of that nature?
I'll take you the magic way.
Magic way? How's that?
Well, just hold my hands, and the three of us will go to the museum together. Are you ready?
Ready.
Ready.
All right. To the museum go round. The purple way.
And let's take two other events that were recently. One being the death of Kanika Jenkins and the death of Jasmine Barnes. Why was there a need for the press and the families involved to make it their business to tell us that the deceased princess's favorite color was purple?
Many of you are doubting if all of this actually happened, but I can assure you that this is not a dream.
He's speaking to the people of Earth.
However, the battle has been extremely difficult, and we can't win it by ourselves. That is why I am speaking to you right now, to ask for your help. If all of you would raise your hands up to the sky and offer a portion of your energy, we could use it once and for all. No more being slaughtered like sacrificial lambs. Consider this your first small stride towards becoming a warrior race. Now, let's begin. Raise your hands up. Now!
Behind both those events were witches who wanted to move into the royal purple degree of witchcraft.
Thank you. Purple balloons floating up into the sky. It was the 7-year-old's favorite color. And today, inside the community of Faith Family Church, family, friends, and community leaders said their final goodbyes to Jasmine Barnes.
The favorite color, purple, seemed to be more important than the getting of justice. It's because that color represented the initiation of the spell cooking that was done on the masses. This is important because witches and warlocks are above masons, though some witches and warlocks sometimes are masons. The reason they spell cook is because they believe they need people and the energy of people to defeat God. Spell cooking keeps you, of course, under a spell and bind it to them if you aren't careful. How do you think they still got people out here today? Still searching and researching and digging into the footage of the Kanika case faithfully and haven't even stopped to get a drink of water, y'all. It's because the spell is on them heavy. If you covered in the blood of Christ, the spell cannot affect you. No spells can affect you. Only those outside God's will will be tainted by these wicked events. The Jenkins and Jasmine protests were only done to get people in a centralized area so that the witches, who were probably in the helicopters above them, could cast their spells on the people and drain energy from them. And why do they use the black people and black families? Simple. It's not a racist thing. It's the fact that the black people have shown over decades and centuries that we are the most emotional species on the planet.
I'm ballin'. I get highlights off and locked in, or now I might spark 'em face shot. I pop eyes. Why I order madness?
And they can get more done quicker coming our way than any other race. Not saying the black race is better than any other. All I'm saying is the black race could possibly be the easiest to manipulate in this generation, and also the race that can exert more energy quicker. In order to spirit cook, the energy of the people have to be high. whether it's in utter chaos or emotional distress. Just like the stage Las Vegas shooting, where the guy who so-called was shooting into a crowd at a concert, but it was actually firecrackers going off, and people have actually testified that it was firecrackers, but the people's emotions were amped up. And the witches behind the scenes took the perfect opportunity to spirit cook. They play off your fear and emotions. Why do you think YouTube purposely sends you recommendations to a channel where people are bashing and hating on you? And you don't even have to be subscribed to them. Why do you think 50% of all YouTube channels are argument channels? It's because once the tensions are high, the witches make witches brew. See, the battle is not one of flesh and blood. If so, all saints and believers would be in an open field battle right now, chopping off heads. But it's rather, as the scripture says in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness in this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Hi, it's Abby. Good to see you. Today we're going to talk about hematite. Alright, and this is how I first got started. Ugh, tongue twister. On my path in eclectic paganism. So,
we must remain covered in the blood and let the Lord handle the unseen. He shields us, he fights our battles, and he is a God of love and a God of mercy, and he will not render us to the hands of the wicked. So y'all can go on, keep on spirit cooking. I hope you brought your salt and pepper with you.